Porch Picnic, the salute to Coach Hayden Fry, with special guests George Bush, Frank Broyles, Jerry Levias, Tom Arnold, Chuck Long, Johnny Majors, Barry Alvarez, Bill Snyder, Bo Shembechler, Kurt Ferentz, and many more. Next.
Thanks for joining us for this salute to Coach Hayden Fry. A scholarship's been created by generous donations to fully fund the offensive and defensive captains of the Hawkeye football squad. If you'd like to contribute to the Hayden Fry Captain Scholarship, contact the iClub office at the UI Foundation. Coach Hayden Fry gave his all to Iowa. Now it's your chance to continue the winning tradition. Support the Hayden Fry Captain Scholarship Fund.
I have done my homework to find out if Iowa is going to be committed to do whatever is necessary within the rules and regulations to be comparable with the winners in the Big Ten. I have been assured that this will take place. The University of Iowa, and I'm sure the president will do a far better job than I in elaborating on this, but we are prepared to compete with the people that have been winning in the Big Ten. I've always been a passing coach. I believe in it. I'm wide open. I think that this type of football in this area will be entertaining and be exciting. Of course, I don't want you to think I'm overlooking the main ingredient. We do this in order to win. Therefore, I am exceptionally happy to accept the job as head football coach here.
About great upsets in the history of Iowa football. You're witnessing it right now. Once again, Gales falls on top of the football. The cadence counts, and it is an Iowa victory over Nebraska. The final score, Iowa 10 and Nebraska 7. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? The place is going wild. The kids are on the field. They may tear the goalpost down. It is absolute bedlam. Just about ready for the play. The third ball is snapped. The kick is up, and it's long enough.
On behalf of the captains, all my teammates and coaches, and the teammates you had, for the players you had before us, I'd like to give you this trophy in commemoration of your 200th win. You deserve it. We're glad to be a part of it.
Well, as Iowans and others from across the nation gather to honor Hayden Fry, my friend, how about a word from Texas? Hayden and I go back a long time. I remember when he coached the Odessa Broncos back in the mid-50s, and I think I even met him before then. But I am one of his many admirers. He's done a lot for Iowa football, just as he did when he was at SMU here in Texas. But much more important, he's done a lot for his community. He's done a lot for the players who've interacted with him over these many years, where he's been the star of Iowa, a bright star in the firmament. So, Hayden, Barbara and I send you our love and our congratulations. We have great respect for everything you've done in sports. And if we had more Hayden Frys around, I'll tell you there would be more kids who would be stimulated and driven to do well in the future. Congratulations. I wish we were there to give you a big abrazo in person, but we Bushes are in your corner.
Good evening, friends, and welcome to Carver-Hawkeye Arena, and one very special evening we've named a high porch picnic, the salute to Hayden Fry. Please join me in giving a Hawkeye welcome to our guest of honor, Coach Hayden Fry, and our special guests.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a High Porch Picnic, the official salute to Coach Hayden Fry. As described in Hayden's recently released autobiography by the same name, a High Porch Picnic is an exceptionally good time. With regard to tonight's event, it's an exceptionally special party for an exceptionally special man. A little more than 21 years ago, on December 8, 1978, a press conference was held at the University of Iowa Fieldhouse to name Hayden Fry as our new football coach. Now 20 years, more than 140 victories, and 14 bowl games later, he continues to succeed as he watches his former coaches, former players, and all who have been affiliated with the Iowa program benefit from his significant leadership. This influence will also continue for many years to come through the awarding of the Hayden Fry Captain's Scholarships to 2 Hawkeye captains each year. The scholarships are funded by the Hayden Fry Endowment Fund, which was established in Coach Fry's honor. Part of the proceeds from tonight's event will help to build the endowment. Coach, thanks for all you have meant to the Hawkeye family over the years. We are here tonight, and we're all going to have a lot of fun. Obviously, it's going to be a long evening, but it's going to be one with a lot of laughs and a lot of tears. And to guide us through our High Porch Picnic, we are honored to have a gentleman serve as our Master of Ceremonies who is intimately acquainted with most of the members of our dais. For 28 years, he was a college and professional football coach. He served 11 years as an assistant at Florida State, Maryland, and the United States Naval Academy, and 17 years as head coach at Louisville, Indiana, Northern Illinois, and the Orlando Renegades of the USFL. Since 1987, he has served as studio analyst and host of ESPN's College Game Day. He is one of the most colorful, insightful, and widely recognized commentators in all of college football. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Lee Corso.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Bob. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. First thing, I'd like to say something about Florida State. He said I was a graduate of Florida State and coached there. I was, at Florida State, I was famous for one thing. I was Burt Reynolds' roommate. Everybody says, so what? Let me tell you, so what? He was so good looking, I used to send him out for bait. He'd come back with 2 girls. One was beautiful, and one was ugly. And I always got the ugly one. But let me tell you something, I found out early. His ugly girlfriends were better than anything I could get on my own. And with his looks in my car, we killed him in Tallahassee. Of all of Hayden's accomplishments, this is my favorite. Maybe because I coached with Wayne and some of these guys for 10 years in the Big Ten. Listen to this one. Listen to these names. Amos Alonzo Stagg, Bob Zupke, Henry Williams, Woody Hayes, and Bo Shembechler, and Hayden Fry. The only coaches in the history of the Big Ten to coach 20 years at their school. That is sensational. Well, our first speaker now will be Mary Sue Coleman, the 18th president of the University of Iowa. The first official function at the University of Iowa was the leader of the 1995 Northwest Sun Bowl. Please, Mary Sue Coleman.
Well, Hayden, I had to wear a hat for you tonight. I met you at the Sun Bowl when I was just named president of the University of Iowa. And I'd been on the job about 2 days, and I was pretty naive, and I thought, sure, Iowa was going to win this game. I didn't know that we were the underdogs. I really didn't know. You were so kind to me at that time, and you went out there and you won that game. And that made my presidency start in a really good way, and I always appreciate the fact that you won that game and helped me get started in a good way. So thank you for that. Yes. I think you know how I feel about you, and I think you know how much I appreciate what you did for the young men. Their academic success, their career success, it meant everything to me. I just can't imagine a better coach than you've been. What a great history of winning, what a great history of leadership. You led by example, and that really makes me proud. So it makes me proud that I'm going to be able to announce tonight an honor for you in recognition of Coach Fry's splendid career at the University of Iowa. The football offices, the indoor practice field, affectionately referred to as the bubble, and the surrounding grass football practice fields will be renamed the Hayden Fry Football Complex. Yes. And I also want you to know that I have a piece of Hawkeye memorabilia that I treasure. These are going to become collector's items. It's one of these Scratch Where It Itches t-shirts. I will treasure it always. Thank you, Hayden, for a great run at the University of Iowa.
Thank you, Mary Sue. Thank you. Next on the agenda is Frank Broyles, legendary Hall of Fame coach at Arkansas, currently the athletic director of the Razorback football and athletic program. He gave Hayden Fry one of his first jobs in the collegiate ranks as an assistant coach at Arkansas. One of the great football coaches of all time, Coach Frank Broyles.
Good evening. What a privilege it is for Barbara and me to be here. Hayden was my first quarterback. Very few people know that. 52 years ago at Baylor University. So it's a great privilege to be here on this evening, Hayden. I had a chance to visit with Hayden. I said, Hayden, you have now reached the 4th stage of a man's life. The first stage is when a man believes in Santa Claus. The second stage is when he doesn't believe in Santa Claus. And the third stage is when he becomes Santa Claus. He said, what's the 4th stage? I said, when you look like Santa Claus. And you're there right now, Hayden. the first person I met, I went to Baylor, graduated from Georgia Tech in March 52 years ago. I went to Baylor, and the first person I met was a young freshman quarterback that had enrolled in the spring quarter, and we've been friends ever since. We competed, we had a player-coach relationship. We competed when he was assistant coach at Baylor. I hired him. He came to the University of Arkansas, did a great job for us, a coach championship in the year 1961, into the Sugar Bowl. Then he went on to head coach at SMU and all. We've had a friendship for 52 years that is strong, has never wavered. And I am a partisan Hawkeye fan. Have been, always will be, always will be.
In my very first start at the University of Iowa at Nebraska, in the middle of a hot game, I called timeout to go over and throw up all over his white shoes.
Great job, Coach. All right. Which one of you guys want to follow that? That's what I thought, huh? Sorry. All right, Jerry Levias, you get to follow that. A gifted player who played under Hayden Fry at Southern Methodist and later went on to a career in the National Football League. He was the first African-American to play in the Southwest Conference, a sensational football player. I remember watching him and coaching against him. This guy was the first great football player to come out of that area, Jerry Levias.
If you will bear with me for a minute. Coach, would you stand up for me and turn around, please? Turn around, please. You lift your jacket. Turn around, please. Turn around. Turn around. Lift your jacket. Lift your jacket. Okay. Well, anyway, thank you very much. Thank you very much. When Coach Fry departed from SMU, he made a speech, and he said, I would like to show you what I think of you as I walk down the aisle. When Coach walked down the aisle, he had a mistletoe on the back of his jacket. When I heard he was retiring, I called Rita and I said, tell Coach, do not wear the mistletoe. So she thought I was crazy. But I'm going to depart a little bit from the rest of you. Coach Fry was a good coach, but he was a great mentor and a great friend for me. Henry David Thoreau said, perhaps if a man does not keep up with his companions, he marches to the sound of a different drummer. Let him step to the music, how far distant. And Coach always marched to a different drummer. We had a conversation the other day. I talked to him, and I said, Coach, you remember that you never did tell me that I was going to be the first black athlete in the Southwest Conference? He said, Levi, there's a lot of things I never told you. But the Lord works in mysterious ways. Coach Fry came to my home to visit. His first words were, is that collard greens I smell? He spent the 45 minutes in the kitchen with my mom, talking about how to cook pinto beans without giving you gas. You see, in my mother's home, you have to eat with your shoes off because it's so good you got to twinkle your toes. You know. But Coach Fry was one of those people that the good news, the bad news. You know, when the guy tells the patient, the good news is you have a month to live. So what's the bad news? The bad news is, I forgot to tell you 2 weeks ago. So I talked to Coach Fry and I said, he talked about scholarships and he talked about education. The good news is, Jerry, I'm going to give you a chance to play football and get a great education. The bad news is you're going to be the only one. But on the serious side, and that's actually true, but I also helped Coach Fry, and the only time I've had him speechless is because there was one alumni, rich cat, that did not want me in school. And he did everything he did to get Coach Fry fired up, to drive a wedge between us. Coach Fry called me in the office and he said, Levi, Mr. Davis said that you were out after curfew. I said, Coach, what do you mean I was out after curfew? He said he saw you. I said, what do you mean, Coach? I said, you know, Mr. Davis think we all look alike anyway. So he said, Levi, go to your room. So, but then Coach taught me more than football. He was a good football coach, but he taught me more about life. Coach taught me about setting goals and reaching goals. But most important, he told me that reaching your goal is a secondary value. The primary value in setting and reaching goals is what you become in the pursuit of what you want. You see, in the Bible, it tells about Judas that set his goals for 30 pieces of silver. What did he become? You see that God gave us the gift of life, and the way we live our life is our gift back to him. But then sometimes when things are going well, we tend to get egotistical. We begin to think that because we're all American and the team is made up of us. This time, Coach did not give me a sermon. He gave me a piece of paper. And if you would bear with me, I'd like to tell you about it. It says, sometimes when you're feeling important, sometimes when your ego is in bloom, sometimes when you take it for granted that you're the best qualified in the room, sometimes when you feel that your going will leave an unfillable hole, just follow this example and see how it humbles your soul. Take a bucket full of water. Put your hand in it up to the wrist. Take it out, and the hole that is remaining is the measure of how much you'll be missed. You can splash all you wish when you enter. You can stir up water galore. But stop, and you'll find in a minute that it looks quite the same as before. The moral in this example is to do the best that you can, but be proud of yourself and remember that there's no indispensable man. Well, Coach, I'm here to tell you that the effects that you've had on my life and what you've done here at the University of Iowa are indispensable. And in closing, I would like to tell you from the 100 Psalms, the 5th verse, for God is good, his mercy is everlasting, and his truth endureth for all generations. And may God bless you forever, because I'll love you forever. Thank you very much.
The next gentleman to speak will be Bump Elliott. Iowa's athletic director from 1970 to 1991. He led the Iowa athletic program through the most of the Hayden Fry period as an assistant football coach at Iowa, head football coach and an assistant athletic director at Michigan prior to taking the Iowa job. One of the truly classy men in all of college football, Mr. Bump Elliott.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Lee. Hayden and Shirley, great to be here tonight to honor both of you and your retirement. And incidentally, I've been retired now for about 8 years, and I'm pretty much an expert. If you need any lessons, let me know. I'm very cheap. And Shirley's raising her hand immediately. You and I will get together. I've been listening this evening with enthralled by what is being said about Hayden Fry, and all of it is so true. And there are several of them that I'd comment on. The last speaker, Ed Jennings, and myself have either gotten credit or blame, whatever it is, Hayden, for bringing you up here from Dallas, Texas, that one fall many years ago. And what a day it was for us. I'll never forget, however, with the, as it showed in the early clip about Hayden's announcement and being a part of the program at the University of Iowa, and the comment was after Hayden and I had walked out and talked a little bit about it, he said, "You didn't tell me that you were going to be the last coach that I ever hired." And Hayden didn't know quite what to think about that. And I said, "Well, I tell you what, Hayden, if you don't make it, I'm not going to make it either. So we're both dead." The other thought is, as somebody commented about the fact that I had hired a couple of coaches before Hayden at the University of Iowa, and that hadn't turned out as well as it might have. And as a result, it got a little bit nervous. That's when I said, "You're the last coach that I'll ever hire, Hayden." So, because I didn't think I would if it hadn't worked. Hayden Fry has been such a great person for the University of Iowa. It's hard to even begin to think about all the things that he has done for us and with us. And probably nobody in this room is more grateful to Hayden than I am for the great job that he has done for all of us. The program is sound and solid under our new athletic director, Bob Bowlsby, and I want you to know that it's a program that's going to succeed for many years. And one of the very basic things is what Frank Broyles suggested about Hayden Fry. He came to Iowa and he stayed at Iowa. He didn't flirt with a lot of other schools and give us fits as far as what he was going to do or not do. He said he wanted to be here at Iowa, and that's what it was all about. That continuity and that continual effort of success gave us the tradition that we have in our building at the University of Iowa. And there is no program in the United States that doesn't succeed without tradition and background. And that's what Hayden Fry brought to the University of Iowa. And Hayden, we thank you for that. Again, I'd like to suggest both Hayden and Shirley the very, very best to you in the years to come. And we hope Iowa City is going to be your home. You'll stay here, and we'll be friends for many years. Thank you.
Next gentleman, Tom Arnold. A native of Ottumwa, Iowa, famed actor and comedian, a frequent visitor at many of the Iowa athletic events, noted for his enthusiasm towards the Hawkeyes, and one of the nicest men you'd ever want to meet, Mr. Tom Arnold.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to say, Dan McCarney, do not get too excited. This coat is not cyclone red. I want to tell you right now, it's the only thing that would fit. It's a pleasure to be here to honor one of my personal heroes. I have only one picture on my desk at home, and that is of me and Hayden. Now, Hayden Fry is an inspiration and a molder of young minds, which is what I've been trying to do with my young wife for the last 5 years. It's not easy, fellas, let me tell you. My one regret, however, is that I was never allowed to go into the Hawkeye locker room after a football game. I always wanted to go in the Hawkeye locker room and hear my man Hayden pump up the troops. Now, I take that back. I always deserved to go into the Hawkeye locker room. Now, why? Well, because I'm the Hawkeyes' #1 fan. Well, I am, but, you know, a lot of us are. Why? Because I supported the athletic department financially. Well, Bill Krause will always get more money than me. I hope. No, I deserve to go in the locker room because I am Tom Arnold, internationally known celebrity. Listen, I pumped iron with Arnold. I went to a strip club with Sly. I got my hair transplant from the same guy that did Bruce. You can't even imagine who I was in rehab with. It was unbelievable. Jack Nicholson lectured me on how to treat women. It's true. I had drinks with Sinatra at his home. Now, I have had dinner with Bill and Hillary and Monica Lewinsky, not together, of course, and I smoked a cigar after each one. It's all true. I've jammed on stage with Aerosmith and the Bare Naked Ladies. I sang with Prince in front of 15,000 people at the Hollywood Bowl, so you can see why I feel so hurt, because I'm special. Now, to be fair, I almost got in the locker room once. I actually opened the door and started to walk in, and then I hear, you can't go in there. And who's that crazy bastard that used to guard you there? Where is he? Ron Stewart, whatever his name is. You know, I'm like, hey, you know, if I'd been smart, I'd have done it when Gary Hughes was guarding him, and I'll give him a 12-pack, and he would have let me right through. So anyway, Deputy Ron there says, Tom, you can't go in. And I say, well, listen, you don't understand. I'm Tom Arnold, internationally known celebrity. And that's when he put his hand on his gun. And so, now Barry Alvarez, Barry let me in his locker room and didn't even make me take off my Iowa hat. Am I right? I was invited into the locker room with the Super Bowl champions. This year, when the Yankees won the World Series, I got champagne on my coat. I played basketball with Magic and Shaq. Baseball with Ken Griffey Jr., Barry Bonds, Derek Jeter. I even got a hit off of David Wells. So you see, I really should have been allowed in the locker room. You know, I figured Hayden and I have got a lot in common. You know, we love Iowa. We've both been immortalized on screen, and we've both been trashed by the Des Moines Register. So, Hayden, thank you for helping us be proud to be from Iowa. Good luck, and let's go Hawks!
All right. I'm amazed to hear football coaches talk. I didn't think they could do that. Shocked the hell out of me. But I'll tell you one thing, they don't pay any attention to what the hell 5 minutes is. We're only supposed to talk 5 minutes. I thought we had a couple filibusters up here.
Coach. You know, it's a funny little word, that name coach, but when you have the name Fry come after it, it means a whole different meaning. For some, it means love, gratitude, wins and losses, those damn stadium stairs we always had to run, the hokey pokey, and those jokes that were funny and sometimes not so funny, but we had to laugh anyway.
You'll continue to be honored with plaques, banquets. That's going to happen to you. But the one next big thrill you're going to have, Hayden, and I hope I can be there when it's done, will be in New York City, National Football Foundation dinner. When you go in to the College Football Hall of Fame.
As all of us here tonight grow older together, the greatest gift in life is to have got the chance not just to run, had fun, or celebrated a ton is to have had all our lives touched by Hayden Fry. And with that, we know all our races in life can be won. Coach, you will continue to be an inspiration and example, and each of us here tonight will always be your #1 fan. But always know that as great a treasure as you were as a coach, you're even more of a treasure as a man. Thanks for all you've meant and done for me. All glory and honor is yours tonight. Thanks a lot. I love you, Coach.
Hayden, everybody will miss you in the realm that you've been in, but we know you're going to be around forever. You're ageless, and it's nothing's ever going to happen to you. So we love you, and thank you so very much for what you've done to all of us. Congratulations to the family.
Hayden, I'd like to wish you and Shirley the best in retirement. Wish you good health, happy travels, and a lower handicap. College football and the Big Ten are going to miss you. We love you and appreciate everything you've done for college football and me especially. Thank you both.
I think one of the most outstanding decisions any athletic director's ever made was Bump Elliott hiring Hayden Fry, a championship-producing coach, a winner in every way, to come to one of the great states in this country and some of the greatest fans in sport football. Congratulations, Hayden. I'll tell you this, if you ever want to play God, I need the money. Call me, collect, and I'll send you a plane ticket.
Coach Fry, you taught us to have pride in ourselves, our teammates, and the program. We all hope that you are proud of us as we are of you. From each and every student athlete who had the opportunity to be on one of your teams, we thank you from our hearts, everything you instilled in us as team members, but most of all as men. We love you, enjoy your retirement, and always scratch where it itches. Thank you, Coach Fry.
New football coach at Iowa, Ferentz, is our last speaker. Newly named Iowa football coach, he served on Hayden Fry's Iowa staff from 1981 through 1989. He served as assistant coach in the National Football League prior to coming back and succeeding Hayden Fry. The new coach of the Iowa Hawkeyes, Ferentz. Let's give him a hand.
Thank you. It's certainly been a great evening for everybody. If I can, I'll just take you back to my introduction to Iowa, and when Iowa football is Coach Fry. I go back 18, almost 19 years ago now. I was a grad assistant at the University of Pittsburgh. I grew up in that town. I was working for my former high school coach. So I was just perfectly content to stay at the University of Pittsburgh, and I was planning on going out and looking for a job the next year. And a job came open here, I guess it was in the month of June. It was kind of late in the season, and I put an application for it, and we talked into Coach Fry to bring me out for an interview. And my main motivation was to come out here and just get some experience, because I felt like I might have to go out and probably get a real job the next year. My wife had an understanding with me. It was time for me to go to work. And so we got Coach Fry to agree to an interview, so I had to scramble around and try to find out something about Iowa football. And I got one of those little blue books they had on college football and looked in there, and all I could find out was that Coach Fry was a tall, square-jawed Texan and that he was a former Marine. The other thing I could find out was that they hadn't had a winning season. I believe it was 19 straight years at that point. So I had mixed emotions. On one hand, I wanted to come out here and make a great impression, good first impression. Yet on the other hand, I really wasn't too serious about coming to this place, Iowa. I wasn't a big fan of the Big Ten, and certainly wasn't wild about going to a place where it looked like coaching changes were on the horizon. And I'll never forget when I came out here. First time I meet Coach Fry, again, like I said, it's in June. I'm expecting this coach to be entering a coat and tie, and here comes this guy in blue jeans, golf shirt, and a pair of cowboy boots. And the first thing he does is offer me a piece of bubble gum. And like Barry and Dan, I had to go through some decoding. It took me a while to figure out when he asked me what Mama felt or how she felt about me coming out here. I thought that was kind of strange. I was 25. Now, my mom's a big part of my life, but it was time for me to investigate jobs on my own, and found out soda pop wasn't Coca-Cola. exotics were trick plays, like Dan toboggans right on through. There's a lot of jargon you had to find, decode. But the thing I remember most, I think, at the end of that day, I went from a guy just coming out looking to get some experience maybe to interview. I came away wanting nothing, can't remember ever wanting anything as badly in my life as coming to the University of Iowa and going to work for Hayden Fry. Coach Fry, I know I speak for everybody when I say we all want to thank you and we all want to wish you and Shirley the same happiness, prosperity, and success in your retirement that you've enjoyed in your truly, truly amazing coaching career. It's a great privilege for me tonight to introduce the man who has made being a Hawkeye so special to each and every one of us, Coach Hayden Fry.
Thank you. I think I feel like that mosquito at the nudist colony. I don't really know where to start. Now you can see why I stayed in coaching for 47 years after hearing all of these great people come up here and talk. They're great talkers. They've got a great sense of humor, great sense of values, because they all enjoyed a wonderful, exciting life as coaches. The commissioners, the other people from the administrative standpoint, my coach, Frank Broyles, who was my hero. You know, I cannot really put into words what this means to me and my family, because it's been tough. We did have some success. Obviously, we had some hard times. That's life. We learned how to accept it. When we were defeated or didn't look good, we learned how to bounce back. When we did win, we learned how to enjoy it. I think that's the most simple philosophy that anyone can have in their own personal life, is to enjoy life. I was a survivor because I truly loved my players. I truly loved my coaches. I truly loved the fans that were loyal and supported us, even like the few that kind of got off track every now and then. Even a few of the news media people. Because I was very honest with them. If they did something that I didn't approve of because it wasn't the truth, I told them. If they did something good, I tried to say, I appreciate it. And I appreciate you people more than I could ever express. These people behind me here did such a wonderful, wonderful job tonight of telling you about the game of football and what it means to all the participants, players, coaches, and the fans. And I came here to Iowa with that philosophy that if we could unite the state of Iowa, have something good, just like the A&F, America Needs Farmers stickers on the decal, being on television, that maybe it'd just give us a boost. It's the little simple things in life that are the most valuable. It's the things that you appreciate and love and remember. I've got a lot of ex-players here tonight that these coaches here behind me, I've got nearly a full staff behind me that was with me during the 80s when for a 7-year period we had the best one-loss record in the Big Ten. It's incredible. And these coaches did it, the assistant coaches. Nearly every one of them are here tonight. Somewhere out here in the audience, I know Bernie White's out here on the Wisconsin staff. Carl Jackson is out here, who was with us. Donnie Patterson, Bill Brashier, you heard earlier. 2 of the coaches this year as head coaches I thought were possibly going to play for the national championship were on that staff. Barry Alvarez at Wisconsin, Bill Snyder at Kansas State. Just incredible. I think Dale Miller's out here in the audience, another assistant coach is with us. Dan McCarney, he's got the Cyclones looking up now. It goes on and on. I couldn't be more proud of these coaches because we're like family, even though we might be competing against one another. And for all you fans, I want to request this on behalf of this coming year. Be patient. It takes a new coaching staff a while to get across their offense, their defense, their specialty team play, what they're trying to accomplish. Be patient. Give the Hawk coaching staff an opportunity to prove what they can do. And as the years go on, our tradition will remain. There are just so many people here that I'd like to thank personally, and I know we've run out. Lee Corso did a magnificent job. Keith Jackson was to be here. He had an operation. He couldn't be with us. Lee stepped in and just did a fantastic job. All of these speakers back here. I'd like to introduce my family. I'd like for all my family to stand up and let all of you stand at once and be recognized. Got another table over here. Bob, Al, you guys get up over here. Get up over here. Great. I think the best comment was made by one of them. They said they'd always wanted to attend a function that cost $150. I'm not going to say which one it was. These people, my family, are the people that suffered through the years because I was gone, just like all these other coaches up here. That's the worst thing that a football coach experiences, is that you put in so many hours, you have to actually neglect your family. You never have an opportunity to be around them. And if they're not extremely strong people, then the football coach is going to get fired or he's going to change his profession. It takes great, great people to be associated with football, and I'm talking about the families. And I know other professions require the same thing, but you've heard, you know, I can't believe Frank Broyles is still the AD at Arkansas. I thought that he would retire before me. He's got a great, great family, and I tried to emulate Frank through the years because he was my hero, as I said. He was a quarterback, a great quarterback at Georgia Tech, a great coach, unbelievable mind, most photographic memory in the world. You could ask Frank something that happened 15 years ago, and just like this, he could tell you. We were on the right hash mark. We put a formation into the boundary. They were overshifted to the wide side of the field, so we ran into the boundary off tackle or around in. And he could tell you who made the tackle, who made the block. And he was my idol. And fortunately, I got to play for him in college and then coach for him. And a lot of the things that these guys up here talk about me, I learned from Coach Broyles. And he learned from Bobby Dodd or Bob Woodruff. And these coaches are going to have members of their staff go on and become successful, just like I have, like Coach Broyles has had. That's the way it works. And I just hope that I can share something with you, to all you people in your profession, whether you're a farmer, a mechanic, whatever you are. That's the way it works. You surround yourself with outstanding people. You love them. You take care of them. And they, in turn, by their efforts, will take care of you. And that's the reason all these nice things are being said about me tonight, because I represent all those players, the Jerry Leviases, the Timmy Dwights, the Chuck Longs, Mark Porch is out here, John Alt's out here, Dave Moritz is out here, Joe Levias, those guys all out here in the audience, is because it becomes ingrained in your personality that you want to be the best and you want to help people around you become the best and you want to be ethical and do it right, knowing that you're going to fail from time to time, but if you just stay with it, the things that you learned in football are going to pay dividends. And that's why we're all here tonight. I could never express my appreciation enough. I love you. I know all these coaches and players love you. Iowa's a great state. The university is a great university. This is a special night, a special event, and God bless you all. Thank you.